So guys, the magistrate court in Ado-Ekiti has denied Mr. Dele Farotimi bail. This is coming after a federal high court in Ekiti granted Mr. Dele Farotimi bail yesterday. So today, a magistrate court has denied him that same bail. Their reason is that, the bail application was not properly filed. That's the reason they are giving, and they will remand him until the 20th of December. So guys, we are going to be watching how all this is going to unfold. You can imagine somebody who was said to have been granted bail yesterday. He was only left with, meeting the bail condition. I mean, bringing the shorty and all that. But guess what? Today, a magistrate court has denied him that same bail, and they are giving excuses that the bail application was not properly filed. So, Mr. Dele Farotimi will still be in prison until the 20th of December. So, guys, let's move away from that. Sowore has attacked Mr. Peter Obi for going to see Chief Babalola. We all know that yesterday we broke that news to you guys that Mr. Peter Obi visited Chief Babalola, and after that he also went to see Dele Farotimi in prison. So Sowore is now attacking Peter Obi for ever taking that step, going to see Chief Babalola, that Peter Obi went there to beg the man, that Peter Obi is trying to compromise, the fight against corruption and all that. So guys, we all know that actually Peter Obi went to see this chief, but we don't have the detail of the discussion. We were not there when he was begging the chief, and we also know that there is also a space for negotiation or settling out of court. Anyway, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the reaction coming from Rufai and also from Dr. Abati and other Arise crew members who have come out to weigh in on this matter. I mean, specifically on this attack coming from Sowore against Peter Obi. So guys, just take your time and watch this video to the end, and to also see reasons why the court has refused to grant Mr. Dele Farotimi bail. Just take your time, watch this video, and drop your honest thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Take a look.
The hashtag Free Dele Farotimi has become even louder on social media after a federal high court in Ekiti State granted the human rights advocate a 50 million naira bail with one surety. The presiding judge in the case on Monday asked the surety to provide evidence of 2 years tax clearance and a letter of consent from the bank. Farotimi, who is being accused of spreading false information against senior advocate of Nigeria, Babalola, was seen in a video shepherded by police officers to the courtroom in handcuffs, eliciting a flurry of reactions. This was quite the story yesterday when we saw Dele Farotimi in handcuffs. Nigerians, of course, reacted. Let me take this tweet from Festus Ogun, who wrote, Dele Farotimi in handcuffs. There's a picture, Yahaya Bello walking majestically, tale of two justice systems. This was quite the tweet. Hashtag Free Dele Farotimi. Aisha Yusuf wrote, putting Dele Farotimi is what something, putting him in handcuffs is what something will humiliate him. Really, in a country where criminals illegitimately occupy offices, the last laugh is on them. If not for Dele's book, we would have ended up allowing zeros to go to the grave as heroes. Well, also on Monday, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, visited Babalola, the senior advocate of Nigeria, at his office within the Babalola University in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, where they had in-depth discussions on critical issues, including the situation of the activist and lawyer Dele Farotimi. After his visit, Peter Obi proceeded to the prison facility where the activist is being held. Well, during a private meeting, Peter Obi expressed solidarity and engaged in a candid exchange aimed at addressing the prevailing challenges he's facing. I mean, this visit, a lot of people had mixed reactions with, the photo of Peter Obi seeming to go to appeal to the senior advocate of Nigeria. Let me take Omoyele Sowore's tweet. He wrote, "I condemn those who went to beg Chief Afe Babalola today over the unjust detention and persecution of Dele Farotimi. The delegation led by Peter Obi did colossal injustice to the struggle to drain the swamp of judicial criminality in our country. Obi's action is like forcing Rosa Parks to return to the back of the bus of racial injustice during the civil rights era in the United States. The struggle continues. Hashtag free Dele Farotimi now." Your thoughts on Peter Obi's visit, Rufai?
Okay. So I'm going to be using a lot of Yoruba analogies. There are some people that have talked about why did he go and beg Chief, Chief Afe Babalola and all of that. You know, the first angle to that is, who were those that were there? Did he beg? That's the first question. Where's the empirical evidence that he went there to beg Chief Afe Babalola?
None.
You know, I keep talking about evidence. And I keep talking about facts. Because facts are sacred. I have also seen a write-up by a certain Dr. Mo that was part of that delegation that responded. I didn't talk anything about begging, but they said they had critical conversations.
They had critical conversations. That's what I read.
The Yoruba analogy I wanted to pull was, this could also be a conversation around Agbejo and Ikoda Agba-Oshikane, because he met with the two parties, the two fighting in this matter. After he met with Chief Afe Babalola, he met with Dele Farotimi. So he met with both parties. So the idea of beg, I don't know about that. Maybe if, you know, the people that claim that there was begging here and all of that can provide evidence. But as regards even the conversation about begging, and I keep asking the question that in society, how long are we going to beg our oppressors in this country? And I'm just talking in general terms as regards begging now. Yoruba, there's only Yoruba saying, how long are we going to keep begging people that oppress us? Our political leaders that can't provide for us, that has cost us in this hardship. Because we live in a society where they say, oh, our political leaders are leaders in general. You have to be careful. They hold, after God is government, they hold the ace to our lives. But this ace to our life is only them and their families that it benefits. It doesn't benefit anybody. They are the ones that are getting richer. Their generation yet unborn are getting richer. So that's for me in the general terms as regards begging. But this conversation, I, in my own estimation, think to a large extent, it was right to go see both parties that were involved.
Yes.
What they had conversations, maybe if they did a transcript of what they had conversations about, we can know who begged or not.
Well, I guess we will see
That's
a tweet from Peter Obi in the course of the day.
Somebody that was there, Dr. Mo, had tweeted,
that's
and
what
he didn't talk anything about begging.
He didn't say anything about that. But I'd love your thoughts on the image of Dele Farotimi coming out in handcuffs from the courtroom.
So this is what we've consistently said. I mean, we've had an extensive conversation, different opinions, different sides to the matter. But it's the way that justice seems to be dispensed in favor of one party to the other, or how people seem to get the short end of the stick of justice when there's an ox to go on. So that's the challenge we have there. Yahaya Bello, as well as a lot of other people who they have criminal cases to answer, are alleged to have stolen tons of money, walk freely, even they get invited by the EFCC, they walk in majestically, they are not abducted, transferred to a different state. And so you wonder, how do we measure these things? What threat did Dele Farotimi pose as to have him in handcuffs? What he just demonstrated was just to humiliate him. It seems like it was a plot or ploy to humiliate him. And guess what happens, unfortunately? It was, without being prejudiced, what it makes him is a hero. When you put people like this who are meant to face the law, you make them heroes. It's heroic for them. And so you only increase their supporters base. And the injustice that it seems like makes people more sympathetic to his case and more upset with the agitators. And there was no justification. I don't see a reason why he had to be put in handcuffs. especially when we've seen a number of times people
Absolutely.
who have more, significant charges against them, not in handcuffs.
Absolutely. I mean, I believe that, today is International Human Rights Day, and it just comes at this time. I believe that we're hearing that Dele Farotimi has just arrived the Chief Magistrate Court for his hearing at this moment. But before I come to you talking about human rights, Dr. Abati, in the meantime,
The Dele Farotimi case, yes, the optics putting him in handcuffs for a bailable offense, didn't look quite good. But they will claim that, this is a case of criminal defamation. He has not shown any proof that he will be a flight risk in any way. There's been no, point in that regard. He himself is also entitled to fair hearing, like all accused persons, whatever the offense may be. Now about Mr. Peter Obi intervening, I'll just make a small point that, look, in any legal proceeding, there's a room in our jurisprudence, as it is now, as it has evolved, for what is called alternative dispute resolution. There's room for mediation. There's room for intervention by third parties. If third parties intervene and the parties involved say, we have agreed on out-of-court settlement, or we have agreed that, look, we don't want to pursue this matter any further, they will approach the court. The court is not going to frown at either out-of-court settlement or alternative dispute resolution, particularly in cases like this, defamation, bailable offenses and all of that. So Mr. Peter Obi intervening as a third party has not done anything that is wrong. Whether you say he went there to prostrate for Chief Babalola. Chief Babalola is 95. Peter Obi must be like 61, 62. So, and he's a very respectful man, whatever the circumstances.
Absolutely.
But the thing to note is that, there's something called third-party intervention, mediation, alternative dispute resolution in our jurisprudence. It's not everything that is settled in court. Certain things can be settled out of court.
Okay, Dr. Abati, I respect that opinion as well. Well, the hashtag is on, free Dele Farotimi now. I mean, he's in court. We will follow up on the story. Let's now shift gears. We'll take
to prison in the first place. Okay. So it made sense for them to take him before that same judge.
Yes.
And
Seek for bail.
Seek for bail. But the prosecution counsel argued that it was not properly found. I don't know, maybe there are some procedural errors that are made, and the judge then decided to adjourn ruling on that matter till the 20th of December, which means Farotimi will spend 10 more days, in prison in Ado-Ekiti. Another thing that happened was the fact that his counsel, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, leading 19 other lawyers, was made to step down from arguing for bail.
For bail, okay.
Because as a son, he's not supposed to appear before a small court. So he had to step down. Yes, the junior lawyers.
Junior lawyer.
Over, the matter. So, December 20 is around the corner. I'm sure that this matter is bailable. Okay. He has not committed murder, and invariably he will be set free. The matter of bail can be really technical. As the great lawyer Wole Olanipekun told me during a lengthy discussion about 2 days ago, because I like interfacing with lawyers so that I can learn more and more from them. He told me that in law, it is 60% strategy. You may know the law, but it's your strategy that will deliver victory. And he told me, it reminded me of what he did during the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. He brought only one lawyer, but he brought only one witness. People thought he would bring tons of witnesses. He brought only one witness, and that is the majority leader of the Senate, MOB. Michael was the sole witness. The opposition, what do you call them? The appellants had expected that
they were going to come
so many.
So many.
But at the end of the day, he got victory. As many of whom does, because he's clearly one of the best lawyers in our country, without a shadow of a doubt. His achievements speak for him. So, for BABALOLA to win this matter, the strategy has to be right. You may know law, but if your strategy is wrong, you may have issues procedurally.
Procedurally.
Look at the Abelo today. Denied bail and sent to PJ prison. Again, that has been blamed on the lawyer. That the application for bail was procedurally filed. That was filed even before he was put in custody. And the judge said, come on.
This is wrong.
This is wrong. So, Baba's matter is a very emotive matter. And I see it has polarized Nigerians thoroughly. This matter has polarized Nigerians thoroughly.
Exactly. There's been all sort of comments.
Yes. Baba has every right to defend his integrity. Look at defamation. If you're a victim, you will know how painful it can be. So, we all know that the judiciary is corrupt. We all know that certain things are happening that shouldn't be happening. Farotimi did not say what people had not said before about the judiciary.
Okay.
But the way he went about it, you and I know that to defend those things in court, you need cast iron evidence that this person corrupted the Supreme Court. Can you find
any court for that matter?
Yes. No, because what really angers me is the Supreme Court.
Yes.
That's the apex court in our country. That's the final court.
Yes.
So it's important that people have faith in that final court.
The Court of National
Now,
Justice.
if you said that BABALOLA compromised the Supreme Court, are you ready? We cast iron evidence that he did that. Did he do it through the court? Did he give them money? With what banking instrument did he use?
Exactly.
Or Ghana must go.
All of it must
whatever.
be.
Or did he take them to Ghana and then Ghana must go back to them in the supermarket? Because we've had that. That happens. Because, if you try to use the banks, alarm will be raised. So people are wiser than. So if you must make some of those allegations in the manner that he has done it, you better have your facts. You better have your facts. And if people know that you are not likely to have facts, you can actually have a good case and still lose. I was a tabloid editor and later a magazine editor for years. I know what I'm talking about. When it comes to libel, I know how many cases we have to fight. It takes even a little mistake. Sometimes when you know that, I can prove this, but something little is missing, you then will reach out to the other side, the other camp, and set you out of court. There are some times when people will tell you that this happened. They will tell you, they will bring the evidence that you need to win.
Iron cast evidence.
They will not come back.
Yes.
I was in that situation. The guy showed me a video clip. He said, well, don't worry, when the case comes up, I will present this. By the time the other people went to beg him, he refused to release the video to me, and I had run the story. And they took us to court. So my boss down on said, Jide, what is the meaning of this?
Where
It's left under the bus. You know?
And I was somebody whose dad was detained illegally. An 84-year-old man. And I needed to help. And you had evidence that I could use to win the case. But because the other side begged you, you refused to release it to me. Then I began to look like a fool for helping someone. I said, can you just do this for me? You know I tried to help. He was not going to listen. So how do I win the libel suit when the primary evidence
Exactly. It was not released.
it was not released to me? So it's all about, people can say what they like. Many of them have not entered the four walls of a court. Some of us are in the biggest court in the land. We've been there to report what's going on there. We've been in the dock. Not once, not twice. So we know what it entails. I drove all the way from Lagos to Akwa Ibom to defend a libel suit involving an attorney general of the state. So the opinions that we share here are products of what we've seen.
In experience,
What
true.
we've seen as media managers. So it's not.
Okay, Olayinka, let's with this issue of defamation, freedom of expression, Section 39. There's a thin line. At what point can we say that freedom of expression now turns to defamation?
In fact, as you have said in your intro, there is a very, very
Thin line.
Now, Farotimi is a lawyer. You should know.
Yeah, they are trained to be circumspect. Yes.
Now, I'm on the last pages of the book. I'm reading it.
Oh,
On the-
okay.
On the few last pages. And throughout the book, well, it could even be said to be just a pamphlet because it's not too big a book. Now, the very first few sentences of the book that I read, I was cringing.
Really?
Talk less of getting towards the end, where the issue raised is. He made so many allegations, so many accusations, judges, lawyers, and so on and so forth. It's only BABALOLA that has taken him up. There are
They are
senior
still on.
judges, justices even, that and he mentioned names. Now, as a reader, or as a book lover, as an editor, and,
As an author.
and an author myself, when I looked at it, the first thing, if you were not to be a lawyer, I would not have been worried.
Okay.
But as a lawyer, who knows? I'm a journalist. I trained as a journalist from first degree up to the last. And I read what is called media law.
Sure.
In media law, I know what it is to put something down on paper. So, how did he get to that point that he put all what is said in writing? And when you look at it, it's also a self-published book. So obviously, he had no editor, he had no publisher. Who will have, if he had been published through a reputable publishing house,
They would have pointed
he would have
out,
pointed
you
some
know,
things
like,
out. And
yes.
But he is the author and the publisher, and I guess the editor himself, because there are even some grammatical errors.
okay.
But that's apart. What he wrote there, as I said, when I read it and I look, I said, is this guy, does he have the iron cast evidence to prove all this? Yes, the book has been made popular. Many will have said, Baba should have just forgotten about the body, his reputation. Because ordinarily, even as a lover of book, if I enter a bookshop and I see that book, I'm not sure I will have bought it. One, because of the cost. Secondly, and I'll just look at it as criminal justice. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but
Because of this case.
this case,
You just had to.
I just had to. And reading through it, I looked at it and said, well, I admire his courage and his language. He writes very fine, good English, but
He speaks well.
how to prove it in court?
It's now the...
When you say, even assuming Afe Babalola is not
Yes.
a son, even if he's an ordinary what do you charge and bail lawyer, and you say that he's corrupted a court, then do you have the iron cast evidence to prove that in court?
Well,
I wish him all the best.
Sowore has attacked Mr. Peter Obi for going to see Afe Babalola. Sowore is saying that Mr. Peter Obi is trying to compromise the fight against corruption. So, guys, I'm going to just allow you take a look at how all this is unfolding and what the Arise Television crew got to say. I mean, Rufai has reacted to this. I want you to take a look at all those and let's just analyze all this, because people are saying that why is it that Sowore keep, targeting Mr. Peter Obi? Because nobody actually know what the discussion was all about. Peter Obi didn't go to beg, but Sowore is saying that Peter Obi went to beg Afe Babalola and that Peter Obi is trying to compromise the fight against corruption. So, guys, let me allow you to take a look at how Rufai and his crew members analyze this. Take a look for yourself. So, guys, you have seen it for yourself. Honestly, Dele Farotimi is just fighting for freedom, and the fight of freedom does not come on a platter of gold. We all know that. If you really want to liberate this country, see, lives will be taken and people will be persecuted. There are forces that be. For you to displace those forces, there will be a lot of consequences, and that is actually what we are seeing. Mr. Dele Farotimi is fighting for freedom, and the cost of freedom does not come cheap, and that is what we all should understand. So somebody was saying that, Mr. Peter Obi is growing weak and weak because he's afraid of the establishment. It's even the establishment that writes, they fight, you know, the resistance coming from the establishment is what is going to write your name on the platter of gold. So, and that is actually what is happening to Mr. Dele Farotimi. He is standing against the power that be, he's standing against the establishment, he's standing against all the forces that think they own Nigeria. He's opening up, you know, for people to know the level of corruption that is happening in this country. So guys, I know it will not be easy for him to be freed, but finally freedom will come. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.